Well, Mayor Shane, welcome back. Mayor's Monday here, WSAU, WSAU.com. I'm glad to see that you decided to follow in Zach's footsteps a little bit and get us outside for today. Nothing special behind you. We're just outside of City Hall, but of course, distanced apart and everything like that. Just kind of give us an idea here of where we're at in Wisconsin Rapids as you continue to handle and battle COVID-19 here.
I appreciate it, Mike. It's great to see you again, and looking forward to get you caught up.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, COVID-19 front, we've got the mayor's orders in place and everything like that. Just kind of give us an idea what's where we're at in the city here, and what residents can expect for the next few weeks.
Well, our cases have increased. However, to what extent it can be debated. We just ask which side. Everybody has their own opinion, but we do have more positive tests, and we probably have had more testing also. But our big concern is over the next couple of weeks, hopefully, depending on if we can get children back in school, and I think that's a priority, and to be able to do that safely, and looking forward to seeing how that's being put together.
And as far as residents and services here at City Hall, I'm guessing everything is working as normal as to be expected, right?
Yep. All of our offices are open, and they're going to remain open, and all of our services are going to be provided. We are looking at adjusting staffing and maybe rotating some staffing, but all of our offices will remain open, and all of our services will continue.
Yes, and that includes services for those that have been impacted by the idling at the Verso Mill here in Wisconsin Rapids. As I was driving down, I saw a few more cars in the lot than I was expecting, but it certainly, you can tell, it's starting to look like a ghost town over there on Highway 34 coming in from the north.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down a lot. There's several hundred people still working on idling down, doing some maintenance, fulfilling some obligations and some contracts, and they'll be doing that for a little while yet.
Yes, and it's certainly something that you've been working on. I'm sure when you're not talking about COVID, is probably something that's taken up a lot of your time as well, as making sure that the city is there to help these residents that are in need.
That's correct. Senator Tustin and Representative Krug have been working very hard putting together a task force, and a lot of us are participating in that. Coming up September 2nd and September 3rd, there's going to be a job fair for displaced workers, and so those things are all coming out of that Rapids Together task force.
And that's going to be jobs from here in Wisconsin Rapids, jobs from within the region, or maybe even jobs at the Nine Dragons Mill in Buren. You got an idea yet of what's going to be there?
They're from regions.
Okay.
We have many employers stepping up that are looking for workers, that are participating in the job fair and looking to pick up some of these skilled workers.
Yeah, because it's certainly somebody you'd like to keep them around. You'd like to disrupt their lives as little as possible, because that's also, something that the city has been looking for, is keeping workers here and retaining workers here. It's something that Zach and I talked about quite often, actually.
Yeah, our workforce here is professional. They're well trained. They're hardworking, and the work ethic, and we absolutely want to retain them in the area.
And the other part of that, and there's been rumors circulating, I think you've talked about it on a time or two as well, about the possibility of forming a co-op. Where are we at in that process? Are those talks moving forward? Are they stalled? Is there something to look forward to there?
Yeah, I've spoken on the co-op the last 3 days. So the co-op is, there are forming co-ops. The timber professionals have already formed their co-op. And so they're going to handle that end of it. We're also looking at creating a multi-stake co-op, which is a group of co-ops coming together, and so that's kind of what's being explored now, and the steering committee is being put together and looking into that. So we've met with people from UW-Madison and USDA on co-op professionals that are trained in this, and so we've been meeting and gathering information.
And is there any timeline then on to when we could see some positive momentum on this, or is it something that's just going to have to move at, as we like to say sometimes, at the speed of government?
Well, and even beyond that is just everybody, not necessarily the speed of government, but the speed of the knowledge and understanding and how co-ops work, and trying to get the different co-ops together for the different areas. And so it's really kind of gathering that information.
And then if you are able to put something like this together, would it look the same as it did when Verso operated it? Or is this a facility that maybe would have to say, pivot and work on a different type of paper than what was being produced before?
And that's really kind of the questions. Ultimately, we're going to end up somebody's going to end up doing a feasibility study to find out what that might look like and seeing how feasible it is to do this and what products are marketable. All those things will get flushed out throughout time.
And it's something that you'd certainly have to take a look at, because you want the long-term sustainability of this facility to be there, and certainly don't want to be putting people through this again.
Absolutely, but I think the benefit to it is local ownership, and having local ownership back in our mill would be great for our area.
Absolutely. So if folks want to know how they can participate or find out what resources that you have put together for them, especially if they are being impacted here in the next few weeks, where can they find more information on that?
Rapidstogether.com is by far the most has the most information on it, and all the information from the task force is compiled into that website, and you'll be able to find all that information there.
Looking at how things have gone this summer, obviously that's been one of the things that's taken up a lot of your time, but we mentioned the COVID-19 and things like that, canceling summer celebrations, and one of the big ones was the fireworks show. Now, there weren't many fireworks shows that happened in the region, but the city council down here, you recently put together a plan kind of for what to do going into next year with what you had already purchased, correct?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. July 4th came, and we ended up deciding that why don't we push it back to September 5th over Labor Day weekend and try to have the fireworks show then. It's been controversial, as everything is, and it did come down, and the council ultimately decided that it needed to be canceled. As all the other events are being canceled, it's probably the responsible thing to do.
Yeah, and I know one of the things that other areas have been saying is, yes, a fireworks show is pretty easy for families to just get together in their own little bubble, 6 feet apart from each other, social distance as the phrase goes, to watch in an open field somewhere. But if it's going to be something that's spent with Wisconsin Rapids taxpayers' dollars, you want to make sure that Wisconsin Rapids residents get to see it as well, and there's no way to guarantee that.
Yeah, and I tried to look for an option as that, and there's just not a lot around here that we could have had, like a drive-in fireworks show or something along those lines, but maybe we just didn't have the space to be able to do that.
So what has the council decided, and what are you going to be doing going forward then?
So it's being canceled for this year, and it's going to be rolled into next year, and I'm hoping that next year will be a whole lot different than this year.
Like I said, just keep those in a warm or in a cool, dry place. Not warm. We don't want to light the fuses. Exactly. And have a show that's twice as big next year, right?
That would be great.
Yes, that's what I've been looking forward to.
Me too.
Anyway, especially since there wasn't a whole lot of fireworks shows around here on the 4th of July. I'm sure there was probably a lot of people sitting and watching them go off in Mount Rushmore as well on the TV.
Yeah, and we've had the opportunity to have the Raptors baseball team here, who have been able to put off a couple of fireworks shows, and so people have been able to take that in through their games.
Absolutely, and you understand too, from this is maybe one of your more controversial things in your first term as mayor. You actually had to break a tie on this. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but we had 2 people absent, so I knew both of them were in favor of canceling it. So ultimately, the majority of the council was in favor of canceling it, and I just felt that was probably the right decision to do at that time. It was a tough decision, because I know the importance and the value of us being able to get together and celebrate such as that, but it just had to be the right decision at the right time. And I didn't feel like anybody's rights were being restricted, or kind of infringing on some of those type things. It was a fireworks show that, yeah, they're nice to have, but it was the decision to cancel it just had to be made, as other events that are being canceled.
The sun still came up the next day, as some might like to say.
Yep, a few people may have not been happy, but hopefully.
And if you can't see me because I'm behind the camera, properly distanced away from me, but I say this completely with my tongue in cheek, it was a chance you had to wield the power of the mayor too, is right.
Yeah, I'm glad that was an easy one to. It wasn't that controversial or that impactful on people's daily lives. It was an event, and we'll move on.
Absolutely. Well, one more thing then before we let you go. The Aquatic Center has been open for Wisconsin Rapids residents only here for the last few weeks. Summer coming to an end, school's starting up in September. Have you looked at when you're going to maybe start drawing down that date to close the facility and some of the other summer items that are going to be closing up here in the next few weeks?
Yep, so this is the time of the year where things are going to start ramping down. We're looking at August 23rd as being the last day for the Aquatic Center. We're looking forward to, after that, then assessing how our summer went, what we can improve on, what changes we can make, and start evaluating how the shortened season went. But we felt it was very important to have that shortened season so we can take this opportunity to learn, because next year the plan is to open it wide open with up to 800 people that can attend, and we want to make sure it's running very well. Our zoo and our splash pads will start to close down within weeks after that also.
And as you said, you've gotten calls on this from as far away as Sauk County. It was a regional facility. People were looking forward to it. So hopefully next year when you do open it up, you can be welcoming people from all over the state or all over the region, right?
Absolutely. It was built to be a regional complex, and it really needs to be a regional complex.
So with that in mind, some of these decisions that you've had to make here in the last few months, what are you feeling just personally about being able to take over the mayor's position like this on short notice and being able to kind of guide the city through these unprecedented times that we've been seeing?
It's been a challenge because there's so much thrown at a mayor, and I can probably speak for mayors all across the state that everything's been a challenge lately, and every topic has been polarized. People feel strong one way or another, and you don't find much of the middle road right now. So you just try to make the best decisions you can. You're not always going to make the right one, but you just got to make it and go on.
Yeah, you're not going to make everybody happy at the same time, but as long as you're looking out for the well-being of the community, more often than not, you can maybe come ahead in those decisions, right?
That's the goal. It doesn't always happen, but that's the goal.
Absolutely. Well, Mayor Blaser, we appreciate the time. As always, we'll look forward to chatting again further down the road as well, and hopefully we'll have some more nice days like this to get outside and explore the city together.
I look forward to that.